Hey everybody, today I've got a 2003 2500 HD that's got the 8.1 liter Vortec engine in it, and what we're going to do today is there's a technical service bulletin on the air conditioning compressors, which is down there, that the bearings start locking up on them, and when you bring the idle speed up to like 2000, 2500, that the belt starts flopping around, and then everybody changes the tensioners. But actually what's happening is the front bearing and the compressors are going bad, dragging the belt down. So this AC actually is working, but it's doing that. It's flopping the belt around. Somebody else put a tensioner on it, but what's wrong is it needs a compressor. So the compressor is right here. So we're evacuating it right now. We are evacuating it right now to get all the Freon out of it. And I do believe we're going to do this the same way we do the 5.3s and 6 liters. We're going to be taking this fender well out and working through the fender well. So here's two of the connections right here, one there, one there. We're going to take those two connections out. It's already missing a bolt here, so hopefully it won't be that hard to get this compressor out. I'll come back once we have it finished sucking out and in the air with the tire off. Alrighty, well, you got the truck up in the air now, and I'm going to go ahead and remove the front belt cover underneath. I call it the rat catcher because I've always pulled these things off and dead rats and mice and dead birds fall out of it. So it's got four 15mm, this one's got 5, this is actually one in the center. It's got 5 15mm bolts. We'll get that down and then we'll be able to get the belt off the front of the compressor. All right, now that we got the cover off, you can see this is the air conditioning belt tensioner that somebody's replaced because they saw the belt flopping really bad. What happens is like I said, the front bearing in the compressor here starts to lock up, and then it makes the tensioner go like this, and it really makes a lot of noise. So you stick a 3/8 ratchet in here, pull this down, we'll get the belt off, and then we'll go ahead and you can actually see there's a bolt there, and there's another one up front here, but I think we can get all those from on top of the frame. We take the wheel well out. If not, we'll try to get them from here. So let me get the belt off and we'll come back and we'll get the tire off. All right, we got the wheel off here. So now we're going to take the inner wheel well out. It's got plastic clips. This is the one I grabbed the first. I do have another tool to do these. I'll probably have to grab that. So we're going to take all these clips out here and pull this back. And the AC compressor should be right there. All right, so I have the wheel well pulled back now, and you can see the compressor. There's a 15mm bolt here. There's a 15mm bolt there. I'm going to go ahead and unplug this wire harness so I can pull these lines farther out. And there's a bolt here. There's a bolt down here, and there's another bolt down here. This one is not used, so there's no broken bolt in that upper one. So I'm going to start getting the lines out and the bolts out to get the compressor up and out of here. This looks like a pretty easy job. So let me get the bolts out and we'll come back again. Actually, I lied. These are 13mm. So we're going to get in here and get this out, and we'll tuck that out of the way. And then can we come in here? Alright, we're going to have to get an extension or a universal for that one. Or actually, let's try this. Oh, come on, get on there. Alright. There's the two lines. So now that is definitely a 15, and then the two down there are 15s. So let me get them out. I don't know how I'm going to get to these. You can see, yeah, there you go. There's a good picture of it. Probably have to get a wrench on that one and a wrench on the front one. I don't think there's the front one right there underneath those wires. So let me get a wrench, get this all out, and we'll come back. Alrighty, I got all 3 bolts out, and they actually come out. This is actually probably easier than the 6 liter and the 5.3s and the 4.8, because I know on those the 2 lower bolts have to stay in the compressor, but these are the bolts that hold the compressor in. They came right out. I'm gonna hand that over to G Junior, and then the compressor just, oops, I forgot to unplug it, but that's okay. we can
plug it over on right there.
we can unplug it right here. It's probably easier to unplug it here than from underneath. Unplug it. There, it's unplugged. And there we go. There is the old compressor. Come on over here with me. So I'd like to show you. There's the new compressor. So they look like they match up everything. There's no sensors that we need to take out of this to put in this. The connector looks the same. So we got the whole kit that came with an accumulator and an orifice tube and the gaskets, and it even came with a bottle of PAG 46 oil. All right, everybody, I think I'm going to leave it at this so we can get this one done. That's how you get an air conditioning compressor out of a GMC with a 6.1 liter. I actually, excuse me, 8.1 liter. I think it's actually easier than the 4.8, 5.3s, and 6.0s. There's more room. The bolts down here come out. You don't have to worry about putting them in before you put them back together. Actually, we'll come back. Let me go ahead and get this all put back in, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Alrighty, there we go. We got the compressor all bolted in. 3 bolts. They're supposed to be torqued to 37 foot-pounds. The 2 lines, I got to go look and see if I can find the torque specs for the 2 lines. I just have to put the belt back on. I put oil in it, and remember, when you put the oil in it, after you hook the lines up, you need to rotate this over. I usually take and rotate it over like 100 times to clear the valves in it so you don't blow up the compressor. You can blow up the compressor by an oil slug. A slug of oil hits that front seal and just blows it apart. So I always like to get in here and rotate this thing about 100 times. I know that wasn't 100 times. I'll do it later. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it back up in the air, put the belt on it, and then we're going to put the accumulator on it. Actually, since I have the fender well out, if you look right there, that is the bolt that holds this to the accumulator. Boy, that doesn't fit very well. Factory, oh well. There's a bolt here, there is a bolt up here, and the accumulator comes out. We'll swap out the accumulator. The orifice tube is in this line, so we'll take this apart here to slide the orifice tube out and put the new orifice tube in. Hopefully it'll come out. Sometimes they get seized in, sometimes they're not replaceable. I'm gonna have to go online and look and see if this one's actually replaceable or not. Sometimes you have to replace this whole liquid line. So anyway, there is the overview. What did I do with the light? On how to put the air conditioning compressor in a Chevrolet and GMC truck that has the big 8.1 liter gasoline engine in. All right, everybody, I think I'll leave it at this. This video is probably getting too long. Please subscribe. You can always do that in that corner there. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my automotive videos. And if this video helped you, you can leave me a tip right down there in the description. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody.